Sorry about that, guys. We are back live, and as you can see, some guys doing.
So that is the bad guy. He's running towards the right of the building. Remember, this is just a simulation.
Let me try to zoom up the minute. As soon as we get the clear to get closer, we'll move in a little closer. Remember, we just like to stress that this is just a simulation to emulate what would happen in a detonation / active shooter scenario. We're here in Sirena Park in Pagatna.
But you can tell by the way he's holding the weapon, he's been trained, he knows how to.
Jalinda, if you're just joining us, this is a scenario training exercise. And we had a little explosion earlier, a mock explosion. I'm hoping we get to hear more explosions. That was pretty crazy. The first one was pretty crazy.
That explosion was so strong that the building caused life. Who's gonna pay for this? Then it's got no evidence. I don't care, you can warn me all you want, you can't cause destruction to my property. Okay, well, we're gonna make a plan. We'll come over to see you. Where the which building is it? The house right over there. That's
So this gentleman right here is angry. He said the explosion had so much force that it caused something in his house to shake and drop. Pretty upset about that. What are these? Did you, Kristen? Yeah, well, don't worry, it's just a training exercise. Not exactly sure how long it'll go on for, but yeah, you know, Brad, you're right. We need these training exercises.
Is there anyone else running from that side?
I didn't see him. We need these training exercises to be prepared for the real thing in the event of a real thing. So, if you're just joining us, yeah, Roy, this is a training. We're here in Pagatna at Sirena Park for the Contra Iligu training exercise, which is a mock detonation and active shooter scenario. I'm joined here by the lovely Nick Delgado and Brittany Chowell.
Hi, today.
Guys, how's the explosion was?
Yeah, so you can really feel the
there.
impact. You really feel the force, and there was actually tenants in nearby buildings, maybe 50 feet, just 50 feet away, that felt that impact from inside. Some of them, unfortunately, they weren't aware, I guess, but yeah, you can really feel that impact from it. But again, all just a simulation, all just part of the training exercise. And right now, we're seeing first responders have a go at it.
Yeah, it's cool. Interesting. We also have another training exercise coming up later in the day at lunch, 12 o'clock.
Yes.
So if you're on your lunch break and you want to join us for something different,
Yeah, it's going to be 12 o'clock at the district court. Instead of a detonation and an active shooter, it's going to be concerning a suspicious package.
there we go.
Right, so a similar situation where they're responding to another possible terror threat over at the district court. So if you are driving through there in your lunch hour between 12 and 1 o'clock, that's when I'm told that they're supposed to be carrying out the second part of today's exercise. Again, this is a 2-day exercise, so you'll be noticing a lot of extra law enforcement activity, again, all just part of that exercise. We're hearing that other areas include over at the Northern Public Health area as well as Andy South. So just keep in mind, if you're driving through those areas again this afternoon, District Court here in Agana at Sirena Plaza, all part of Contra y Peligro's exercise happening here today.
Yeah, fun times, guys, fun time. So if you're on your lunch break, be sure to check us out, and probably don't have lunch near the court today. Man, that guy was tricky. He was all like, yeah, it's just gonna be a small explosion. Yeah, it's like a firework.
Yeah,
But that was loud.
that was loud.
That was crazy.
What did he say? If you appreciate our various law enforcement task force, go ahead and give them some thumbs up or some hearts. Many officers and personnel out here today.
So we can see a cop car blocked off the street down there. And this is the van that the shooter fled before going up into the building.
As soon as they give us the okay to get closer, we can go up in there, but Robert, that is a great question. Let me see if we can't get someone to answer a few questions about the exercise in general.
Here we can see down there a cop car has blocked off that portion of the street. And right here is the van that the shooter. Here we can see the cop car. The cops have blocked off that part of the street. And here is the van that the bad guy abandoned before going up into the building. So we just heard that this is a fully federal exercise. The Guam Police Department are here to make sure that the streets are closed off and everybody is safe. So right now we're still just waiting on the clearance so we can go ahead and get a little closer. There are more police cars down there. Streets are closed off. Again, here is the van that the bad guy was driving until he abandoned it and went up into this building. if you're just joining us, this is a simulated exercise, nothing to worry about.
They know it's a training exercise too. People on the field. Right? No, I mean they're looking out here.
Do we know if anyone from the Anderson Dome?
No, I don't know. I believe this is federal exercise. That's the head guy right there. I think we can get an interview with him later.
Thanks everybody for joining us. We're still waiting on clearance to get in closer. Again, we're at Sirena Park in Hagåtña, and we are following emergency responders as they respond to a simulated exercise. It's a detonation and active shooter exercise. So the detonation, it went off right over there in the corner of the park. The bad guy, he jumped into this van, which was parked just over there. He drove just across the street before abandoning the vehicle and going up into this building. This is an exercise, nothing to worry about. We heard on the radio that the shooter was on the 5th floor. Authorities went in maybe about 5-10 minutes ago. There we have some exiting the building. Hafa Brandon from North Carolina. Thanks for streaming us live. Okay, here we go. They're coming out.
There you go.
Thanks everyone for joining us live. The KUM live stream is powered by Docomo Pacific, superior 4G LTE service throughout the island from Jigo all the way down south. See, it looks like they're hanging out around the van. Again, just a reminder, this is not a real operation, this is a training simulation. There we go, it looks like the shooter has exited the building. Hands in the air. You see authorities have him on the ground.
Yeah, so what you guys are looking at now pretty much, you can keep it down there, Britt, is law enforcement that have converged on the property here have been going in and out of the building in what is an active shooter scenario that they're playing out for this Country Peligro exercise here in Hagåtña near the Sirena Park. And it seems they got the suspected terrorist. They're taking him into custody. They put him on the ground. You see one of the law enforcement officers drawing his weapon and then watching the backs of the others as they're patting him down and preparing to take him into custody. This again is all part of just the exercise Country Peligro. We do want to stress how the importance of that this is all just part of that joint exercise with the National Guard members and local and federal law enforcement agencies to see how they would respond together should there be a terror attack or any serious threat to our island. And Britt, while we were looking at the situation happening here, I mean, what was the feeling that you were getting as you heard that explosion, the simulation? It was just a simulation. You can imagine what it'd be like in a real world situation, but what was your reaction?
Yeah, the simulation, when we heard the explosion, that really caught me off guard. I was thinking of it would be something smaller, quieter, maybe nothing at all, but the impact, I really felt it, and I know some people around here, they also felt it, some of them coming out into the streets to see what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely felt the blast,
There
even though it was a simulation.
Right, it was, again, just part of all the Country Peligro exercise happening here in Hagåtña, and you see them taking away that suspected terrorist into the building here. This is the Sirena Plaza, a federal building here in the capital city of Hagåtña. Officer still drawing his weapon while they take him into custody. And quite a response too, I have to say, Britt. Just how quickly they converged on the situation. Obviously, they were prepared. This was all planned and laid out for them. But still, that response is what they're hoping to bring to the table if this was a real world threat.
Right.
Yeah, so right now they're on the ground level of the Sirena Plaza. It actually houses several federal agencies, including the U.S. Attorney's Office. So you can imagine just how much of a threat anything of any magnitude, from big or small, would be to a building like this, a federal building here in Hagåtña. So it was perfect for them to use this specific location for their exercise today. And now you see some of those law enforcement officers involved in this training, the Country Peligro training, the exercise here happening in Hagåtña, making their way back down the sidewalk, heading our way after what we saw earlier, taking the suspected terrorist into custody. Again, all part of the exercise.
Right, it's not a real operation, this is just a simulated training. And there will be a second simulated training also here in Hagåtña over at the district court, which will involve a suspicious package.
You got to consider the law enforcement's tactic as well. I mean, you see this on TV, in movies or TV shows, but then to actually see it in real life, this is what they actually carry out. The formations that they do, the tactics of how they carry their weapon and have each other's back. Pretty much, you see one after the other making sure that each of the officers is safely going about their response to this type of threat. And if you're just joining us, the van here is actually the suspect's vehicle that was involved. After the explosion, this is the simulated explosion, he sped off in this van, parked right in front of the Sirena Plaza, the federal building here in Hagåtña, jumped right out and opened fire pretty much in and around the building. And so that was the scenario played out here in the first part of the 2-day country leaguer exercise. And right now you're seeing the aftermath, the response from police after they took him into custody. They're searching the suspect vehicle and as well as checking on those inside.
Did anyone watching with us hear the explosion if you're around Hagåtña? Okay, if you're just joining us again, right now we are at Sirena Park in Hagåtña. This is a simulated training exercise involving a detonation of a simulated bomb and then an active shooter. So again, this is a simulated training. It's not a real operation. So the simulated bomb was detonated over there in the corner of the park. The active shooter, he jumped in this van, sped off, he abandoned the vehicle before opening fire all around this building. Again, this is a simulated exercise, it's a training, it's not a real operation. After that, the shooter went into this door, and we overheard on a radio device that he was up on the 5th floor. So in response, authorities went in, they apprehended him on this side of the building. Again, this is a simulated training.
Yeah, so you see several people start to come out from the building here, Britt. That's actually an evacuation, all part of this exercise that's going on here, I'm told. Because earlier we saw not just the explosion or heard the explosion, but we saw a second suspect throw some suspicious object towards the front of the building, and it ended up in a fire and a smoke agent that authorities want to be cautious about. They're not sure if that's going to have any impact on those individuals that are inside this building. So they're calling as part of the exercise for an evacuation. Here you'll see several of the employees involved in country leaguer exercise here at the federal building in Hagåtña, just leaving to see, you know, it's all part of the response tactics pretty much. And So I was told that the two suspects that were involved in this have both been taken into custody. The scene has been all clear, or at least secured. Not all clear, but secured. Now the all clear comes with this evacuation happening until they can make sure that the air quality in and around the building is safe for people to return to work. Again, all part of the Contra y Peligro exercise, the 2-day exercise happening with the National Guard, local and federal law enforcement partners here, starting off at the Sirena Plaza in Hagåtña. You'll see more of this later today over at the District Court of Guam.
They're all gonna go to sidewalks.
Sounds good.
Got these guys close up.
Okay, for those of you just joining us, this is a simulated training. It's not a real operation. We're still here at the Sirena Park in Hagåtña, and there will be another simulated training exercise at 12 p.m. today at the District Court. Police officers, someone with the DEA exiting the building. And now they're taking a look at the vehicle that was used by one of the suspects in this exercise.
Yeah, the sports camera now is small.
Okay, so it looks like the roads are back and they're being opened up. Cars are passing through. But we have not been told that the training exercise is finished just yet. This training exercise started at 10 a.m. this morning. We're here at the Sirena Park in Hagåtña. This is part of the Contra Peligro Military and First Responders 2-day training exercise. Live stream is powered by Docomo Pacific. They provide you with superior 4G LTE service throughout the island.
How is it in there? How are you feeling?
Safe.
Safe now?
Yes.
May, how is it overall? How?
It was great. I talked to Joe. He's the exercise coordinator.
How is it good?
The explosion shook the entire building.
Wow.
How is it for you, man? Exercise.
The exercise is very challenging because it's just secure our staff.
So the employees in the building heading back in, they mentioned that the explosion, the simulated explosion, shook the entire building. And we definitely felt it standing outside.
That was an exercise. They said an exercise.
Today.
Here we have the van that the suspect used
looks like the exercise is over, but we have one more coming up, Britt. It's supposed to be for 12, but I think we're gonna. It looks like it might be closer to 1 o'clock, and that will be at the court.
Okay.
So that would be a suspicious package scenario. So
Right.
that'll be fun. So the next time you see us, keep your phone, follow us on Facebook and get a notification to see when we next go live, which will probably be in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And from what I'm told, a little secret is that it's going to be a lot cooler.
Okay.
Big flames and fires and stuff. So, I mean, we'll see.
Okay, great.
If you're just joining us, we're here at the Sirena Park for a training exercise from the Contra y Peligro. We just finished. It was a active shooter / detonation or explosion. We're done here.
Yep, so stay tuned. The next training is coming up. Follow us and we'll bring it to you live.
Yeah, once again, this is the KOM stream team powered up by Docomo, the best 4G, most consistent LTE coverage on island. So we'll catch you in about an hour and a half.